It's nearly here. First shown in TFC, guys, almost a year ago now. It looks as though the first Triumph rockets will finally be delivered in the next couple of weeks. The latest information I have is that around 80 TFC models and 50 standard models are going to be delivered to the various European markets, sorry to those of you outside Europe, in time for Christmas. My dealer here in Lisbon has told me that with a bit of luck my R should be with them around December the 16th, which would tie in with what other customers have been reporting in forums on Facebook and on YouTube. Fingers crossed. Meanwhile, last week saw the press launch in Tenerife. There are plenty of written reviews and videos available online now, and I'm not going to list them here, but having watched as many as I can find in English, French, German and Spanish, I thought it might be useful to list a few of the comments. MCN, for example, summarised the bike with the headline "Glorious Excess," but all the journalists I watched seemed to be pretty much of the same opinion. They wanted to love the R because it looks cooler, but ended up preferring the GT. The engine is fabulously torquey, but not intimidating. It's easier to ride than you might expect. Power delivery is more linear than the Diavel's, for example, which is okay by me. I can certainly vouch for the explosive nature of the Diavel's engine. To be honest, and as much as I'd wanted to love it, it was all a bit too much for me, and I handed the keys back to the dealer with a feeling of relief that I hadn't crashed it. Anyway, back to what the journalist had to say about the Rocket. The brakes are excellent and are up to the job, particularly as the front and rear are linked, meaning the rear calipers operate automatically when you squeeze the front brake lever. Ground clearance can apparently be an issue on the GT because of the lower set pegs, and heat from the exhaust is more noticeable on your right leg because of the forward riding position. Handling is not as sporty as the Ducati, and it won't be as fast on twisty mountain roads because of its weight. This is fine by me. Triumph said at the presentation of the TFC back in January that it was to be thought of as a big speed triple, and it sounds from the comments above as if that's exactly what it is. On a more serious note, there was a recall announced last week by Avon with regards to their Cobra Chrome tyres that were developed specifically for the Rocket, both the old and new model as far as I'm aware. And it must be quite a significant defect because the language used in the release is unusually direct. To quote from the website, "The affected tyres may develop an in-service unsatisfactory ride condition, or in certain cases, motorcycle steering or ride may be impacted. If undetected, affected tyres may develop an in-service inner liner degradation, ultimately resulting in an increased potential of tyre failure that could lead to the rapid loss of inflation pressure, motorcycle control, and increase the risk of a crash." In other words, the tyre could blow out, most likely resulting in a crash. The tyres in question were apparently manufactured in April and May this year, 2019, and I can only assume that any that did find their way onto the Triumph production line have been duly disposed of, and that all new Rockets will come fitted with safe tyres. To be on the safe side though, I've printed off the recall sheet and will be checking the serial numbers on the tyres on my bike when it comes, just in case. Head over to avontyres.com for more information. So that's about it for this month's news. Slim pickings perhaps, but the main event is only a matter of days away now, so stay tuned for my first impressions of the bike as soon as it arrives. And as always, thanks for watching.